Hey cuties, what's up? We are here today to take a MBTI, is that what it's called? Test. Now, I don't know if it was a month or maybe 2 months. It's been a while. I was asked on YouTube to take a test like this as like, it could be seen as like a Q&A, I don't know. Right. I don't know which one to do. Of course, there's the official one, which I'm pretty sure costs money, which I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. But this is the first one that pops up, right? And maybe this is the one that everyone uses. I don't know. Question mark. We're assuming it's not going to be accurate, but I am going to try to make it say I'm crazy. I'm a psychopath. I don't think it will say that, right? There is no thing on here that I think will just be like, you're crazy. You're a psychopath. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to answer honestly or not, question mark, because, you know, if I was a psycho, right, then wouldn't I answer in a way that would make me seem normal, question mark? You know, so you can't, so take whatever you see here with a grain of salt if we're going into the joke that I'm crazy, right? So the first thing here says, you regularly make new friends. No. Easy, right? You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. I didn't think it was going to go out that I was going to still be talking about friends. Question mark. Is there like multiple pages? This is next. I don't know if this is... It can't just be this is like all it is, right? Just 5... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. It can't just be 6 questions, right? Question mark. Also, a friend was begging and pleading me to do this, so that's also why I'm doing this as well. I don't know which one I should be doing though, is the question mark. Okay, just want to check real quick, question mark. So, you enjoy in exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints, question mark. I don't know. I might have to like spend like a minute thinking about that. Unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. Like, I don't know if I agree or disagree. See, the other problem with taking these kinds of tests is I feel like most people don't actually know themselves as well as we think we do. Like, I don't know anything about myself at all, question mark. So I don't know the answer to this. I would just go into the middle because I don't know if I disagree or agree with that, question mark. Unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. And I guess the keyword here is enjoy. Do I enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints? Again, I don't know. Question mark. Maybe I should just cut real quick and like have like a long think about it. I just thought about it for a second. Like, I don't know. Also, I could just keep falling back on the idea that I'm crazy, so you can't trust anything I'm saying here, right? So this is all null and void anyways. I could just use that as a cop-out. Like, if we were talking about video games, well then maybe, but like, we're not. We're just talking about in general in the world. Unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. I want to say I'm not swayed either way, especially because you're using the word enjoy, right? Not just, do you accept exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints? Sure. Do I enjoy doing it? No? Like, who enjoys that? Question mark. So, for the sake of not middling everything, I'm going to go a point into disagree. Question mark. You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. Question mark. So I hope you enjoy the background chill that we got playing in the background. This is usually what I play when I'm streaming if I want it to be real chill, question mark. Oh, I don't have the thing that's like says what's playing either. I probably should have turned that on. Also, let me change the equalizer or whatever it's called, the synthesizer. I never, a spectralizer, that's what it's called. I can never remember what it's called. Where do I even have it at? I know we're supposed to be focusing on this, but yeah, there it is. switch it to the music so you can actually see it moving. There we go. There. So now that that's moving, I have to switch it back before we do any reactions. Are you easily swayed by emotional arguments? Again, I want to say... I honestly want to go over here, which might make me seem like a bad person, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone just on a just standard level has so much inner reflection on who they are with these kinds of questions. Yeah, I don't know with this one. I just realized this is almost kind of like an IQ test too. Hold on. You regularly make new friends? No. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints? No. You are not easily swayed. You are not easily swayed by emotional arguments. So it's not disagree. I actually want to agree with this. That's what I was trying to say. Like, me coming over here would actually make me seem like evil, right? Question mark, because it's not asking, are you easily swayed? It's saying, are you not easily swayed? Which I want to say, I put like a pip into yes. Also need to make sure this is even on the screen so you can see it, question mark. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments, sure. Like, yes, I am not easily swayed. I want to go like here, but I think I do make room for the sake. So maybe it would be here. Like, if I went full psycho, maybe I would be here. But I don't think we're full psycho yet. You struggle with deadlines. Do I struggle with deadlines? I don't typically have to meet deadlines, but when I do, it's the Sekis. Then I don't know if anyone's going to get that joke. That's a joke, right? Do you struggle with deadlines? I guess we should look back to school, and I feel like you struggle. I did my homework, question mark, in school, and finished tests just fine. I'm gonna go here. You rarely feel insecure. No, I'm just gonna go full blown, like, no. And you rarely feel insecure, which means you never feel insecure, and I disagree with not feeling insecure, question mark. I don't know if it's all the way over there, question mark, though. Do you rarely feel insecure? I want to say here. If I'm not, I'm trying not to lie, but again, could be a psycho. Maybe I'm just making this all up to try to sound normal. I mean, this is wholeheartedly true. Like, I'm not even gonna joke about that. That's wholeheartedly true, right? I keep my friends as tiny as possible, albeit I did make a new friend recently, but that's neither here nor there. The last friend I had made... Let's just talk about this for a second, because like these questions are honestly difficult. The last friend that I still talk to now that I made outside of the new friend was... I don't know. It's gonna be like 2022. I could like legitimately like look it up to see how long ago it was. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2022. So that was the last time I made a new, like a wholeheartedly a new friend. That was 4 years ago, question mark. So again, I think that classifies as strongly disagree with you regularly make new friends. And new ideas and viewpoints. again, I'm just going to go full psycho. You're not easily swayed. I'll keep that there. You struggle with deadlines. Disagree. You rarely feel insecure. I disagree with that. Like, I don't think we have to go full blown, but no, let's just go full blown with that. You avoid making. Don't even have to read that one any further. You avoid making phone calls. Yep. I don't want to talk to nobody. Do not talk to me. I don't want to have to talk to any official. I mean, if I have to, I have to, but leave me alone, question mark. This doesn't necessarily, by the way, correlate to friends, but I do not, I know that this might be a millennial thing even, it's like I do not want to get on the phone and call the internet service provider or anything like that, like if the internet's out, or like, hey, I'm canceling the internet, or hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Actually, you know, any of that stuff, tangentially related to that, no, get away from me. So yeah, just full blown. Like, I love this one because I can just be like, no, hard no, capital N, capital O, no. Same thing with the first one. Again, last time was I made a friend was 4 years ago, and then before that, not counting any like long distance relationships, question mark, the last friend, if we use the word friend, because honestly I don't know if I want to even use the word friend, that's how crazy I am. The last friend would have been arguably like over a decade. Before that point I was just chilling with everybody I already knew, right? I had a handful of people that I knew, and I didn't make any new friends. That might sound crazy, that might sound sad, but like to me it's like I don't know, that's just normal. Like, who's out here making friends every day, right? So again, last friend was 4 years ago, before the new friend that I've made over the last like couple weeks, question mark, you know, to add to my collection of friends. We'll go over this one more time because I don't know if this is all it's going to ask me. You enjoy exploring unfamiliar ideas and viewpoints. And I just pushed it over one just for the sake of it. You're not easily swayed. Fine. You struggle with deadlines. I don't think so, but I'm not really sure. Like, there's not enough data, question mark, for this. Really, if you're insecure, I'm just going for blown. Disagree. Avoid, yep, disagree. And that's one you don't even have to think about. Oh, that was step 1 out of 10. Okay, we're going to be here for a while. It's been 12 minutes. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Hold on. You enjoy... I kind of want this to highlight itself again. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. I wondered if I could check on dark mode for this. Reduce motion, increase contrast, show focus. Wait, where's dark mode? Okay, I mean, this is fine. We can keep it like this. Where the heck is dark mode? Like, why can't I just have dark mode on instead of like this contrast increase? It just, stuff doesn't fade anymore. I mean, this is for y'all, right? You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas? Question mark. I am going to go with disagree because I don't really want to. But then you can argue... Like, I'm thinking about it. Yes, the most popular thing on the channel over the last... has it been over a year at this point? The last year is Stephanie content, right? Reacting to Stephanie Sue, which involves talking about ethical dilemmas. So I would argue disagree, but I'm thinking about politics when I think that. But we can argue that a lot of the stuff we're talking about in Stephanie's videos is this. And so I feel like I'm fine with that, actually. Albeit hesitance, because I'm trying not to get like eliminated by the internet, which hasn't really happened. So I wouldn't actually say disagree, but I guess we're not really debating. Do I want to have a debate about ethical dilemmas? Probably not. Do I want to just talk about them in the I don't know, the freedom of a YouTube video, of a reaction, sure, that's fine. And again, it's keyword enjoy. Is it something I do? Maybe. Do I enjoy it? I don't know. Like it's a, no feeling. Question mark. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. I'm gonna go neutral. Neither agree nor disagree. If it was politics, I would say disagree, but you prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. Oof, that's a question and a half. Now, I'm going to give you devil's advocate here in a second. If we're going with the psychopath roleplay, by the way, where you prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. So if I go here, right, and agree, just like in the deep agree section, I think like, oh wow, you're so sensitive. Devil's advocate, maybe not so much if someone has a prioritizes being sensitive over being completely honest. If again they're psycho and they understand that being honest will cause conflict, right? And thus, why would you create conflict when being sensitive could get you what you want, right? As a psycho, why would you ever be honest? I'm not going full blown because I feel like a lot of times I want to be honest even if I have to be subtle about it. Not even subtle, but just in a potentially hard to understand way that can't even tell that I'm being honest. I don't know. I want to be honest, but being sensitive over being honest, question mark. I mean, these questions, this is ridiculous. I didn't know what I was going to expect, but again, that is a question and a half. That's probably like the question of this test. I don't know if there's going to be any more of questions that compete with that. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. I think also, if you're a psycho, and you could take the psycho thing as a joke, right? I'm just using that as an excuse if of whatever I end up getting. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just a joke. It also depends on who. So if your person, like everyone says, they have a mask for one person, a mask for another, right? It also depends on who we're talking about. Like one person I could be completely honest with, but another person I could be full-blown sensitive, or not even necessarily me, but just people in general. Like it depends on who they're talking to. Like this matters. Who am I talking to? Is it someone I want to be completely honest with, or is it someone I know being completely honest with will cause me turmoil? And it would be better off just not being honest and just being a yes man, right? Like that matters. So I think just the question of you prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest can't be summed down to just agree or disagree or shades of gray in between that. Because it's not just such a simple question, which I don't think any of these questions are that simple. And why I don't think these things are, you can really take these things seriously. You have to take these tests and your assigned letters with a grain of salt. Because again, as I just described, this question can't just be broken down into 7 dots. There's so many more factors. Again, like who are you talking to? Are you a psychopath? Etc., right? I'm just gonna go with this, but again, this is determined on about like who you're speaking with. Your living workspaces are clean and organized. I don't know. Like, I want to go with like a middle. If I could get like a brand new house, right? It might just be psycho clean. Where if you walk into it, it's like, oh my god, this guy is crazy. I'm leaving. Right? Just, white walls, white floor, no furniture, question mark. But it is not neither, I think. That's not an agree, it's not a disagree. I feel like most people would be slightly disorganized to some extent. I feel like if you're saying yes over here, then you're... what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name from American Psycho. Like his last name is Bates, right? But I don't know. I can't remember his first name. Why can't I remember his first name? As many times as I've heard his name. But yeah, Bates from American Psycho. Like, this is American Psycho. If, like, clean and organized, like, if it's pristine. Again, this question can't be broken down to this. There's levels to it. Like, are you living in a house that is all white, barely any furniture, and is spotless? Question mark? Psychopathically spotless? This doesn't, like, answer that for you, does it? On your personality. Just saying agree or disagree, in my opinion. I'm gonna go middle road with that. Overwhelmed, sure. I'm just gonna go there. Like, this depends, like, what's going on. I'll put, like, 1 check in. You often feel overwhelmed. Sure. I want to say 2, but we'll go with 1. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Leave me alone. Again, this also... not a question. It's like, who are the teammates? Are they strangers? No. Are the people I know? Still probably no. Is it video games? Then maybe yes. Question mark. You enjoy participating in team-based game. Yeah. If it's video games, sure. Right? It depends on the right people. Or what's being played. I like playing things alone. A lot of times, but if there's like a special person that I would have obtained, then sure, I probably wouldn't do everything with them. But again, it's from a person-to-person basis, this question, and it's not asking that. So it's like too hard. I'm just going to say disagree fully, but again, nuance. It depends on the person. Is it a wife that I am psychotic for? Well, then it'll probably be like agree. Fully agree. Is it some random stranger? Disagree. Well, I've already said random stranger, disagree. Acquaintances probably disagree. Friends, even, again, someone I love wholeheartedly, maybe agree. Like, complete opposite of all that. So I guess it depends. Question mark. Then you enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Again, it's like, to what? Food? Work? Play? Those could all have different answers associated to them. What if all 3 of those have different answers? How do you average out that? You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. I'm just going to go back up to the top and see what we have, just to make sure. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. Neutral. You prioritize being sensitive. Yes. We're going to go with that one. You're living, again, neutral. Overwhelmed, 1 pip. I might push it up to 2. Because it has been pretty bad recently with having the move last year, and then other things that have to continuously pop up. Like tomorrow, I have to go somewhere tomorrow, and I really don't like going to these places, or having to. I'm not gonna say it like that. I don't really like having to leave and do these things, but I'm literally being forced to. So with something like that, I would be like, yes, I agree, but I don't know if it's like fully there, like fully at a 2. So with 1. Participating in team-based activities. Disagree. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Guess I did put this up to 2. New and untested approaches. Again, to what? See, this one is just confusing. I don't know how to answer it. And I don't think just putting him in the middle is what you want to do, right? Just put everything in the middle. Like, just answering neutral to a question you don't understand fully isn't going to get you a accurate reading on yourself. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. I'm going to go with maybe no. I'm going to base this off of video games, which you might be like, okay, that's not what it's asking. Because I often am not... we might as well go like full into it. I often will do a lot of, insanity, right? Where it's like you're repeating the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Right, where, it's not necessarily that, but I'm just saying, where I will just play the same, right? For a long time, for games that had morality in them, I would just always pick being a good guy, right? I would rarely be doing bad things, or if never. And like on Elder Scrolls Online, where you pick a class, I have like at least 3, I think, Templars. Same class. So there's like a massive handful of classes, and I have 3 characters that are the same class, probably with the same build. It's like, what is wrong with you? Stop playing the same character over and over again. So you can argue that if just from how I play games, maybe I don't like to experiment with new and untested approaches. Like, I think I do. Maybe initially, I want new things. I want more things. So then there's like that too, but then like on a wider lens, like on a smaller lens, yes, I want more things to play with. But on a wide lens, I keep doing the same. I just end up falling into doing the same thing over and over again. So I don't know. I'm going to go with 1 pip into disagree instead of 2. I don't like that you can't go backwards. Also, we're barely on the 3rd page, guys. This would be here for an hour. I mean, you're not getting a Stephanie video today because of this. I mean, I wasn't going to do it today anyways. I was maybe going to do it on tomorrow. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. These psychotic questions that it's asking. Facts over people's feelings. Again, this is nuanced. Who am I talking to? Who are the people? Question mark. When determining a course of action, I don't know if I could be swung either way, like disagree or agree. Like, I would say maybe yes, facts over feelings, but then also the whole yes man thing I was talking about earlier, where if the path of least resistance is just being a yes man, then you could argue, well, then you would disagree. Like, no, just accept their feelings even if it's going to cause more issues down the line. I don't know. I want to go 1 up. Facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. again, this also just, like I said at the beginning, if you don't truly understand yourself, you can't truly answer these questions. And I don't know which one is right. Like, is it over here or is it over here? Allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. I'm going to agree with that. Maybe just one. Because YouTube is obviously scheduled, right? So that makes sense. I was having Duolingo and Ring Fit Adventure scheduled at the same time every day for days and hundreds of days. Like sometimes I push it up, but it's still technically scheduled together, you know? Ring Fit comes out and then Duolingo comes out an hour later. But that's just scheduling it on YouTube, right? That's for YouTube. That doesn't mean what I'm doing during the day is scheduled at the same time every day. So allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. I'm going to go with agree. Rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. You rarely worry about making a good impression. You really worry. I don't know if I'm going to be worried. I'm going to assume I didn't make a good impression, but am I thinking about it for the rest of my life? Question mark. I'm just going to go with one deep. You rarely worry, which means you kind of worry. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and bye. I just get to read it. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. I do not feel comfortable doing that, okay? Because again, I feel like this is an IQ test. You have to make sure you read the question right. You are not interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. This is asking, do you want to have a discussion about a banana duct taped to a wall and then having interpretations of the creative work, question mark, of that banana taped to the wall? Is this what this is asking? You can, for the sake of YouTube, you can boil this down to you are not too interested in discussions about reaction videos, like discussions in reaction videos, right? You are not interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative work. Because if you're watching a reaction video, it is theoretically, I think, an interpretation of creative work. No? Am I wrong? Right? So I think if you are a avid reaction content viewer, then the answer to this would be disagree, right? Because this is you're not interested in this, and then you disagree. I am interested, right? So you're not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative work. So if you spin it like that, it's like, okay, wait a minute, maybe that is the case. Because if there's any like huge amount of people who even watch this, I don't think it's gonna be like 2 people, right? My friend and the person who asked. They would maybe disagree to this as well, because again, they're probably watching reaction videos, right? Because the person who asked was on a reaction video, and the reaction is the most popular content on my channel. Whereas, again, same thing with a friend, they are watching reactions to stuff. I'm assuming all the time. So, if we're going to word it like that, I think this is a disagree. I am interested in discussions about interpretations of creative work. Creative work could be anything. It's any form of media, shows, movies, etc. It's not 1000 IQ discussions about creative works, but it's close enough, right? And you could still go look out for that stuff for people reviewing things as well, right? That's them having a discussion about various interpretations of creative works. But it's probably saying, like, are you too interested in discussions? Like, it says, are you interested in discussions? Not that you need to be a part of the discussion as well. But I think even if we're going to have a discussion, like maybe I'm fine with that, like having discussion with the people's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you. Is a psychopath answer disagree to that? Like full disagree? Not too interested in discussions about it. I'm just reading that one again. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. There's like a weird thing going on with these questions of like you could like interpret from them almost. I'm not gonna discuss what I mean by that, but there is like weird undertones to some of these questions. Stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. Numbers or data. Can we just go with in between? Just because I don't know how to answer this one either. There needs to be like a I don't know answer. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. Again, this is like page freaking 3 and we've been here for half an hour. Like 10 minutes per page. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. I don't know how long here. I just want to sit and stare at this. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. I'm just gonna go neutral. Can you add like a little bit of psychopath spice? Can I say disagree just for a little bit of spice? Right? Because again, you don't know what I'm saying. This could be legitimate. This could be me being a psycho. You never know. If any of these answers are true. Again, that's my cop-out. You prioritize facts over people's feelings. I mean, this combos with this, does it not? Isn't it just literally the same thing? Often allow the day to unfold. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression. You feel comfortable just walking. Nope. You are not interested in discussions about various interpretations. I disagree. And we're gonna go with like one Pippin to disagree, just for the, again, the psycho spice. You actively, oh, you can't go back. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge around knowledge areas to explore. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. I'm gonna go with like a this, because again, if we're talking about video games, maybe. If we're talking about in all of life, probably not. I'm going to go with like a double there just for now. We'll come back to that maybe later. You're prone to worrying about things that will take a turn. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Sure. You're prone to worrying. I gotta read it again because again, IQ check. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Full blown. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. Full blown. Again, then group ones. Is the other person a wife? Then it's probably disagree. If not, well then probably agree. You enjoy solitary hobbies or activities more than group ones. Yeah, you like solitary more than groups. Full blown. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. You cannot imagine yourself writing fan fiction is what this is saying. I know that's a joke, but yeah. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories. Wait, fictional? I mean, you can't... Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. It's fake stories. I was like, wait, you mean real stories? No, non-fictions is real stuff, right? If you don't know, I don't know if like anyone needs a like a trick to understanding that, But, and maybe you're a child watching this for some reason. I mean, you shouldn't be here, but if you are, it's like fiction is fake and nonfiction is not fake, right? That's how you can shrink those down to maybe understand them. Fiction, starts with an F, it's fake. Nonfiction, it's not fake. Kind of imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. I am actually going to go point into disagree. I don't think I can write at all to save my life, but I want to make a trading card game, which means a universe needs to be built for the trading card game, which I have already done in my head over many a year. Question mark. If we want to get into that real quick, I don't know how deep we want to get into this fictional story here. The trading card game is based on the universe, Apocalypse 9, right? Which Apocalypse 9, which is probably what the story would be, the game would be called. Which, if you see in my channel, is somewhere in the title, right? Like the Kyuutie creator, Apocalypse 9. I think it might actually just be what the, like if you type in like youtube.com/apocalypse9_9, something like that, right? I don't know what it is. That's my YouTube channel. And like in this universe, the idea is that 9 different dimensions somehow collapse down on top of each other, and then Earth is like this apocalyptic melding of these 9 different universes. So you got everything. You got futuristic stuff, you got ancient stuff, you got whatever, dinosaurs, monsters, goblins, ghouls, magic, cyberpunk stuff. Like anything you can imagine is on this planet in an apocalyptic setting, right? So supernatural as well, ghosts, whatever. Well, anything I can think of. So that's kind of like a cop out, right? Again, I can't write. But that's you can see where it's like, okay, well, I've created a situation where anything I can imagine is acceptable in this scenario, right? And then in this apocalyptic setting, there is a game show called Apocalypse 9, and in this game show, they either, we can argue, I don't know, they kidnap people, or maybe, I don't know, I haven't watched Squid Game, but I mean, it's probably like any other death game, right? Where you have to, you're like, I need money, so I'm going to sign up for this game, right? So sign up for Squid Game, right? So with Apocalypse 9, maybe you need a lot of money, or some reason you're in debt, who knows? So like, okay, I'm going to go on this game show, Apocalypse 9, right? And the premise is that 2 people get put into like this virtual kind of arena, and they get given what I am referring to as a red string, which is just a partner to fight for them, right? They're like literally attached with a red string, question mark. I can even pull up a 3D model I made. I'll pull it up on Instagram real quick. Hold on. I mean, I kind of hate that like you have to see all the writing over here, just ignore the writing. But yeah, this is something I made back in you can't see it, but January 9th 2022. And maybe we can see, like, this is a person who's allegedly like in the game, right? They have this equipment attached to their arm. It probably wouldn't look like that, but here, like, this ring is placed on the pinky, and like literally a red thread is off over there to like the left side, right? So like literally you're attached by the pinky to someone off to the left, right, in this scenario. But like that's just so you can understand what I'm talking about, right? Like in this game show, you're literally attached to another being via this technology here applied to your pinky, right? So they're there to fight for you and against the other person, and the idea is that you are fighting to the death against the other person in this area. But the area is big, so you're looking around for stuff, you're getting stuff, getting weapons, getting loot, whatever, as you're fighting through there, and then you're trying to find the other person and kill them, right? That's essentially that, right? But the other thing that's fighting for you could be like, I don't know, some sort of crazy entity. For the case of my trading card game, but essentially is that, right? It's you versus the other person, and you have a boss essentially, which is your red string with you, That's like your boss monster. And if that dies, then some variation that you would lose, but I think there's like a little bit more to that. I'm not going to get too much into the trading card game because I don't want the idea to be stolen, for one. But two, it's not fully ironed out anyways, but actually kind of lost my train of thought there. I was trying to get it back. I can't remember. Obviously, like the red string could potentially die, and you can maybe bring them back, even in like this universe, right? But that's what I was going to like the characters in the first iteration of this trading card game that I would end up making sometime if I ever can. It may never happen. One of these red strings is going to be a necromancer. Melty is her name because I've made many a drawing of her over the years. By many, I mean like maybe 3 or 4. If you scroll on my Twitter, Instagram, eventually you'll see her. And the other person, I don't know who it's going to be. It might just be a like Japanese schoolgirl who's like into like curses, right? And there's kind of two similar kind of areas, you know, supernatural stuff, but they're very like maybe like Junji Ito or what have you, right, with that one. But just to get an idea of like what could be fighting for you, or who knows, maybe like a robot or something else, right? It could be literally anything that's you are red stringed to, question mark. So again, why I say I cannot write to save my life, I do have a story technically to tell. So I would argue that it's not 0. Like all that to say, I don't think this answer is a complete 0. Right? So you favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. Sure. I'm just not even gonna. We spent so much time on this one, I'm just gonna say yes. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Again, like what day is it? Yes? Is it day X? Is it or day Y? Prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. I don't think I'm ever relaxed is the problem. I'm never relaxed. But I do believe that doing this first allows you to relax, right? Because like, you're going to do this. Okay, I've done this, so now I can actually chill. Let's use YouTube because we're on YouTube right now. I have recorded all the YouTube videos that I have wanted to do today. Now I can finally do nothing, right? That is a sentiment I have a lot, right? Where if I haven't done this and I've done nothing for the day, this is never going to happen. I'm going to be in agony all day, question mark, right? I would love to be able to just have this permanently for the rest of forever. I mean, everybody would what? Without the need for this, question mark, right? I want this to be 0, and I want this to be 100. But this is just always 0, though. I'm gonna go with like an agree. I guess I think it's like a full blown. Even if I don't do it, I feel like I still would prefer to get stuff out of the way before chilling. Like I don't want to chill and then know that I need to do stuff later. Since if I'm doing something, you know, like gaming off camera, the entire time I'm like, I didn't record videos. I still need to record videos. I still need to do Ring Fit. Before I put Duolingo on hiatus, I was like, I need to do Duolingo. I need to do this, I need to do that, right? So, yeah, or like tomorrow, where, you know, like I was saying, I have somewhere to be against my will, but I have somewhere to be. I don't really want to do like the YouTube stuff because that supersedes this, right? It's almost like a higher tier of chore, whereas YouTube is like below that, and then relaxing is below that, right? So I don't know. I'm going to go with full blown for that. Let's review our decisions. Seek new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. New experiences and knowledges every 6 months. So do we disagree with that one? Prone to worrying about that full blown. Unless it's, again, the love of my life, whoever that is, then sure, it would be disagree. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories. And that, again, that's just a soft disagree, because again, I literally have a story to tell, question mark. You favor efficiently, even if I think I have no writing capabilities whatsoever. Oh, whoops. I still think that's like, I know, like if at, like for the bare minimum, just through the TCG that I hope to one day make, not necessarily through a book or anything, but just like through that, then sure. You favor efficiency and decisions, even if it means discarding some emotional aspects. I just like slightly agree with that one, right? Because we spent so much time on that one. Favor efficiency. I think we're just going to say yes on that. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Full blown. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. Again, this is a nuanced topic because it depends on who we're talking about. Right? For some people, it literally matters who we're talking about. In disagreements, you prioritize proving your points. Because it could go either way. Like one person I know, it would be over here. I didn't mean to click that. You know, it would be over here somewhere, one of these three, because trying to prove my point is almost impossible, because to them 1 + 1 = 3, and there is no way to make them believe 1 + 1 = 2, right? I arguably know someone like that, right? And there's someone who wholeheartedly will, every fiber of their being, believe something and will fight you over not understanding that, like, it's what they say, right? So am I talking to that person? Well, then why am I gonna waste my time, right? So that would be a disagree, if not, like, it would, again, at one of these levels. But I can also be petty, perhaps, and be like, okay, I'm going to subtly be like, yes, I am going to try to prove my point to some extent. I'm just going to go with like a disagree here. But I don't know. Again, nuanced question like this can't just be chalked up to 7 dots. You usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. What social gatherings? I'm going to go with a full-blown, but like what? What social gatherings am I going to? Question mark. Your mood can change very quickly. No, I'm just always angry. 24/7. Full wrath. Mood can change quickly. Not like full-blown disorder, right? Like 1 minute I'm happy, next I'm crying, right? I feel like that's what this would be. It's like 1 second you're happy, next you're crying, next you're angry, next you're sad, right? Next you're happy, like all within a span of an hour. Like, no. Your mood can change very quickly. I'm gonna go with this. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factorial arguments. You know, this specifically goes against what you were saying earlier, hypocritical even. If I say, usually feel persuaded by emotional stuff, like if I pick that, I'm being hypocritical, right? Because earlier, there's multiple options to say you prefer facts over emotions, but then to choose that you yourself prefer stuff that emotionally resonates with you over facts specifically goes against that, like literally contradictory questions here. You usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factorial arguments. I feel like a lot of people will say agree to this, so I'm going to put one pip into agree, even though what I've said prior, right? But I guess it's like, okay, this is your emotions, and the other questions are about other people's emotions. So like other people's emotions, like they don't matter, right? So we can again write on this the psychopath thing for a second, right? The psychopath roleplay, right? Where if it's other people's emotions, it doesn't matter. Facts oversee how they feel, right? So you're psychopath, people are just NPCs, right? But when it comes to you, then emotions are more important. That resonates with your emotions personally, then it's more important than any factorial arguments because it's your emotions. But when it's other people's emotions, you don't care, right? So I don't know. I'm just going to put a soft yes for that, if nothing else for the psycho aesthetic. Again, you can believe that this is that, or that I'm just joking, right? Because you could assume like I am obviously just joking, psychopath stuff, or maybe it's true, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's a little bit between. Who knows? You never will. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. I hate that there's like 3 in a row like that, and this slot. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Again, nuance. What are we talking about? Some things, sure. Other things, no. I'm just going to go with a soft degree, but again, it depends on what we're talking about. You prioritize and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. Prioritize and plan tasks effectively. I'm gonna go with slight disagree, because I don't know what to say about that. And this goes against the other deadline thing. Like you complete things below the deadline, before the deadline with the other one, right? But what happens if you don't plan and then get this? Like, what do? I don't know. We're just gonna go with a soft disagree because I don't know about that one. We're barely even halfway. We still got another 5 pages to go. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. No. Full blown. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Disagree. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. What? You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. No? I don't even know how to answer that. Like, I'm just gonna say like a soft no. I don't become bored. I don't know if it's like a hard no. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. Again, you're asking someone to fully understand themselves wholeheartedly. No pun intended. When facts or feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. By the way, I don't know what I'm even going to put on the thumbnail for this. I have no clue. Maybe it should be like a screenshot, like just this literal moment right now. And it's like, I need to have like clickbait, right? The 16 personality test said I'm a psychopath? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Maybe I'm going to definitely put that on. If I didn't put it on, well then, oh well, you would already know, but maybe I'll put that. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. I am just gonna go I don't know either way. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. Sure. You rarely second guess the choices that you've made. I'll disagree with that wholeheartedly. Question mark. Full blown. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. Disagree. Lively, I don't think so. Outgoing. I'm just gonna go full disagree. Like, again, I don't know the opinions held inside the minds of friends, right? So I don't know. I'm just gonna go with disagree on what I think they think I'm like, based on what I think I'm like. I'm just gonna keep that in the middle because I don't know. Again, disagree with that, I guess. Full blown on that one. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Why are we so, like, obsessed with writing? I'm just gonna go with, like such as writing, like, you thrown off the entire thing. If it was just this period, I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe, but then, like, such as writing, I haven't read a book in my life. Question mark. You are drawn to various forms, if you couldn't tell that I have never read a book in my life. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression. I don't even know how to read. Like, you hear me reading this? You're not hearing nothing. I'm not reading this. I don't know how to read. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. I would have to agree, but, like, this, you threw me for a loop. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. You can't have the same question 20 different times. You've asked this like 100 different times, just like slightly different. Choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. I'm just going to go with like a second, just because we already had this like 20 times. I'm just going to go full blown. Well, not full blown, but you know, like 2 steps. You like to have a to-do list for each day, though. You usually stay calm under a lot of pressure. Depends. I'll give you like a 1 or a 2. I can stay calm. I mean, I can stay at this demeanor that I'm at, no matter what, probably, because we can just roll back to video games. I'm usually just like this the entire time. I can make an attempt not to get angry like everybody else. You know, I'm not raging, I'm not screaming, I'm not cussing on the channel. Question mark. Like, don't come at me for whatever was going on 10 years ago. I don't know what I was doing in videos 10 years ago, but I'd argue that I'm typically not raging out too much nowadays. I might get mad, but I think staying calm is fine for me. Somebody with like a 1 on that, at the very least. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Okay, I didn't know where that was going, but find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. Yes. If not full-blown, a 2. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I don't know if I have an opinion on that either way. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. Can we, like, nuance this into anime? I like what me and someone else I know like refer to as fast food anime, aka isekai slop that comes out every season, right? I have no issue watching isekai slop, so simple and straightforward ones for ideas, right? That's not me saying that those stuff are good. They're usually really bad, and I express that they're really bad to my friend, but I guess it's the word, again, keyword excite. Does simple and straightforward ideas excite me? I don't know if any idea will excite me. So I'm just going to go neither for that, because, again, I have no opinion for that. Drawn to various forms of creative. You usually base your choices on facts. You like to have a to-do list. No. Stay calm, sure, if not a 2. Let's give it a 2. Let's just lie a little bit. Right? And we'll go back down to a 1. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers daunting, sure. and I have no opinion either way. You can easily connect with people you have just met. Are we speaking in text or are we talking? Because I don't know. I don't know about that. You can easily connect with people you've just met. I'll go with like a soft disagree. If it's text, well then sure, I can quote unquote match their freak, potentially. But if it's in person, I'm probably just not going to want to say much at all to them. Just in a simple point of like not wanting to talk to them. Like maybe if I was interested in them, well then again maybe I would just match their freak in real life? Question mark. But if not, well then maybe I will just not want anything to do with them. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Plans are interrupted. Maybe? You are still bothered by mistakes you made a long time ago. Full blown. You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. Full blown no. You are not too interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. You're not interested. I disagree with that. I think I am interested in that a lot. I've had discussions with people, I think, before about the future, question mark, because I need the future now. I need my Jack in VR systems now. I need my cybernetics now. And science is being held back by some phantom evil people, in my opinion, on the planet, not letting us progress because money means more than human progression. Anyways, though, I was thinking just today to myself, an interesting future idea that could be like a show or a movie. You're gonna have to pay me royalties for this if you steal this idea. Where it's the future. The sun is about to have heat death, or like getting there, but humanity has already left the stars. They've done whatever, right? And on other planets, they're prospering in the universe. But like the show is about, like there's no humans on Earth anymore because they've all gone everywhere else. But like so it's like a million something years in the future, or maybe it's happening sooner than later than it's supposed to. And it's like it would be a story about humans going back to Earth and desperately trying to get, I guess, like maybe like all the animals off the planet that are still there, and like escorting them off whilst trying to deal with the sun, like boiling the planet and getting ready to explode. And it's just like about them, like the humans aren't in danger. They're not in danger of extinction. Like maybe it would be more interesting if they were, but there's like 8,000 stories told, 8 million stories told about something like that, right? It's about like humanity has already left the planet, has already left Earth. They're prospering in the universe, and it's just their mission to go back to Earth and get what life is left on there back. And just in the moment, I've just had the thought, we could take that even a step further. Humanity has left Earth for so long that other animals have potentially entered evolution of gaining consciousness and actually some manner of society, you would say, arguably. And then that's where you can have some conflict there, where it's not just getting like dumb animals off the planet. It's you're scooping up these species that haven't had the time for you to prosper because they're just coming into their consciousness, starting societies and whatnot. And you coming back, you probably, like, humanity would maybe be coming back and like seeing them, and maybe there's some understanding that humanity was here. But I guess it would be more interesting if humanity just left Earth alone for so many millennia that the animals there don't even know humans exist, and then humans just show up like, hey, we understand the sun's about to explode, you're all getting wiped out, you got to come with us, right? You got to come with me if you want to live. right? Something like that. So literally had that thought today, right? So I think this discussion is a disagree. I am interested in talking about the future. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I don't know. Emotions control you more than you control them. I would like to just go like a middle of the road for that one. Because I feel like I spent a lot of my youth, or more like teenage years, bottled? ? So is that controlling your emotions if they're just bottled? ? Your emotions control you more than you control them. So they're theoretically controlled, right? You're not acting on them because you've buried them away? ? I don't know. I'm going to go with a neither or maybe on that one. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what is most logical. Stop. I swear to God, stop asking the same question, just a different way. I'm going to lose it. When making decisions, you focus... I know it's like there's all slightly different from each other, but still. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than on what is most logical or efficient. Again, it depends. Like, what are we talking about? Like, is my decision not... Again, like the theoretical of the person that I was talking about before, is like making any decision toward them going to cause massive conflict, and that's not worth it for me in the end, or for anyone. Like, anyone can have that opinion. Like, is making a decision going to cause a lot of turmoil that you want to deal with? Then someone might answer that yes, right? So you focus more on how the affected person might feel, right? So you might answer that with a yes. Could easily just lie. I mean, we're not talking about lying, we're talking about decisions, but your decision could be to lie, right? Which then you could be like, okay, agree, right? I'm just gonna go with like a soft agree, but again, it's nuance. Who am I talking about? Do I want to be brutally honest to someone? Maybe because I don't like them? Then yes. Is it someone that the hassle, like the juice isn't worth the squeeze? Then sure, I agree. I'm not going to bother making the decision that's going to get on my nerves, right? But I think we want to go with just like a soft yes, maybe. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I'm going to go with like a middle on that. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. At least that's a interesting question. Yes. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed. I'm going to go with like a sure on that. You would love a job that requires you to work alone. Ooh. Most of the time. Yes. ? So you can argue that's just YouTube, is it not? You would love a job that requires you to work alone for most of the time. Yeah, I think the answer to that is yes. Again, though, is whoever this may be, if it ever may be, the love of my life, then maybe that would be a strong disagree if it was them that I had to work with. But otherwise, I know this is hyperbolic, right? I'm being hyperbolic whenever I bring that, make it like silly like that, right? But otherwise, like probably a yes, but then like I don't know, right? Maybe I'd actually enjoy working with other people. I don't know. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time? No, because we literally just had one. did I not just ponder a philosophical question to you all about how would something turn out where several million years from now, where humanity has left Earth and colonized the universe, they come back to try to save the new higher species on the planet Earth, and like what would happen like before the sun blows up and just kills everything and wipes them out of existence, right? Like how would that turn out? How would that look? Is that not an abstract philosophical question to some extent? So you believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Disagree. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. Like, why even... This is like... I mean, I get it. You feel more drawn to busy places than quiet ones. Disagree. You feel more drawn to busy places. Again, IQ chess. You have to make sure that you're answering the question right. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. No, I disagree. I'm more drawn to this, maybe. If a decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. A slight disagree? When someone thinks highly, sure. Would you ever drop that's alone? Pondering, disagree. A waste of time, disagree. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling, no. And soft. We're on page 9. One more page left. Finally. Over an hour long. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall ability and knowledge. Maybe? You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I could agree and disagree with that. Depends on the thing, what I'm doing, right? Let's go with the middle of the road there. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. I could go with like a middle there too. I could go either or. You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. Again, same sort of question for the 8,000th time. I'm gonna go with maybe a disagree, even though again they're like contrasting to other questions that I've answered, where I'm like, maybe I agree more with logic, maybe I agree more with emotion. But here I'm saying logic this time, right? You're more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. I disagree. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Nope. You feel confident that things will work out for you. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Can I go just honestly full blown? Optional. Get your results by email and save them to track personal changes. Send me a career and personal insights. No. Your gender. This will determine your avatar in the results screen. Why does that even matter? Right? Like, why is that? Why do we need that? I don't know if I should do this. I'll put my email here and I'll click on see results, and then we can come back and see, right? If I have to cut out it showing my email, I'll cut it out, but let me just put that in there real quick. All right, so this is what we got. Question mark. I didn't want to let it load because I didn't know if it was going to show my email or not. So it says your personality type is logician. INTPT. Again, I don't know what that means, but I think it is that fine. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence, as Albert Einstein quote there. Personality type is logician. That as an INTP logician, you possess a unique blend of intellectual curiosity, analytical prowess, and a penchant for abstract thinking. Your mind is a playground of ideas, constantly exploring complex concepts and seeking to understand the underlying principles of the world around you. You approach life with a rational, logical mindset, preferring to rely on facts and reason rather than emotions or conventional wisdom. So why I don't like this? I mean, this is accurate, actually, because I am pondering my orb all the time about the universe and things like that. I've done that a lot, right? Pondered the universe. My issue with this is it asked me 50 times, do you like emotions or do you like logic? It asked like 10 times, so it feels like all the other questions didn't matter. It just was like looking, okay, are you logical or emotional? Like that's all it seemed like this came down to. The other the other 90 questions didn't matter. It was only the 10 questions asking me about logics or emotions. Your insatiable thirst for knowledge drives you to dig deep into subjects that capture your interest. You're not content with surface level understanding. Instead, you strive to grasp the intricacies of systems and theories, often developing innovative solutions to complex problems. I don't know if that you could get that from what I said, but sure. This intellectual depth, combined with your ability to think outside the box, sets you apart in both personal and professional spheres. Can we say this? This is like, hell, you're smart, right? Even though I'm not, right? I'm dumb. But if we're to say like this is saying I'm smart, does that mean I'm a psychopath? Like, psychopaths are smart, right? And they have to be smart so they can blend in. So, is this actually saying, hey, you're a psychopath? Question mark. Let me actually look at what's the standard MBTI, whatever this is called, for psychos. I don't know, it looks like it's not conclusive, so who knows? Question mark. Personality traits. How am I only 91 introverted? Question mark. I feel like it should have been 100%. No? Should this have been like 100,000%? You likely prefer fewer, yet deep and meaningful social interactions and feel drawn to calmer environments. Sure. Intuitive. You're likely very imaginative and open-minded, focusing on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. So intuitive or observant. So I'm 7% this way. This is in between. Thinking also between thinking and feeling. You likely focus on objectivity and rationality, putting effectiveness above social harmony. Except it's like 3% towards thinking, so barely, right? So between judging and prospecting, I feel like there should be some nuance to this, and not just like I'm 3% into thinking, so you're thinking. You're likely very adaptable, easygoing, and flexible, prioritizing spontaneity. Over stability. I don't know. Assertive and turbulent. You're likely self-conscious, sensitive to stress, success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve. Sure, self-conscious, sure, sensitive to stress, sure, success-driven, perfectionist, not really, and eager to improve. I don't know, maybe. But I don't think this is 100% accurate. This actually should be 100%. I don't know. Maybe the 9% is like the 9% where I actually do want to talk to someone. So we can argue that 9% is me wanting to actually talk to someone. The fewer yet deep and meaningful social interactions part of that is what that 9% is. While your cognitive abilities are undoubtedly a strength, they can sometimes lead to challenges in social situations. You may find yourself more comfortable in the world of ideas than in emotional or social situations. Your tendency to analyze everything, including social interactions, can sometimes make you appear detached or aloof to others who don't understand your thoughts processes. As an INTP, your value independence and autonomy highly. Wait, what? You value independence and autonomy highly. You prefer to work at your own pace, following your own interests and methods. This independence can be a double-edged sword. While it allows you to pursue your passions without constraint, it can also lead to difficulties when you need to conform to external structures or deadlines. Learning to balance your need for intellectual freedom with the practical demands of life is a key part of your personal growth journey. I don't need one. Your career path, I don't care what this could even remotely be telling me about my career path. I literally don't care. Like, you can read this. I'm not even going to give it the time of day. Influential traits. This is not unlock. You have to get access to that, so. Your strengths, novel perspectives, quick to see patterns, adaptability, driven by curiosity, independent and self-directed, Truth-focused. Your weaknesses. Difficulty completing tasks. I don't know about that one, but resistant to structure. Sure, yes. Struggling with practicalities. Underselling yourself. Sure. Frequent procrastination. How did you get that? Huh? You in my room right now? Easily distracted. This one, I don't know about that one. And then career ideas, we don't care about the career ideas. I think we can all understand what these mean. We don't have to go into the further depths of what any of these could be. I know there's a lot here. So yeah, careers locked. Work styles is locked. Personal growth. Influential traits for that as well. I guess up here it has what? Perfectionism, ambition, motivation, and desire to lead. And those are all probably like on percentages of how much I have, maybe. And we have resilience, confidence, grit, and sense of control that we have for personal growth here. Strengths of that highly reflective, open to self-improvement, seeking authenticity, inventive thinking, embracing complexity, comfortable being alone. Weaknesses, overanalyzing minor decisions, struggling with routines, stubborn skepticism, neglecting self-care. Hello? Where are you getting this from? When immersed in intellectual curiosities or abstract pursuits, you sometimes neglect basic self-care, reducing your overall well-being. Like, hello? Lost in daydreams. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Difficulty expressing emotions. Yes. Question mark. Pretty sure anyone on the YouTube is like, wow, you have one emotion and it's just ASMR. That's your emotion. Question mark. Literally, that's all you have as an emotion. It's just ASMR. So yes, you do have difficulty expressing emotions. Relationships. In your relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familial, you bring depth, honesty, and a unique perspective. You value intellectual compatibility highly, often forming your strongest bonds with those who can engage you in stimulating conversations and appreciate your abstract thinking. I mean, you're just making an assumption with that one. Your logical approach to problem solving can be a valuable asset in relationships, helping to resolve conflict. Maybe I actually like really, really dumb people, and I just like them to be just dumb, right? You don't know. Authenticity, loyalty, altruism, and emotional intelligence. We have genuine honesty, except I said, I think multiple times that I would possibly not be honest. Well, again, if I was more saying like a lot of people might not be honest depending on who they're talking to. If it's the easier route to just be a yes man, because the person's harder to deal with or not worth dealing with when you're being honest. Rich conversation, valuing individuality, logical conflict resolution, respectful of boundaries, thoughtful and attentive, emotionally distant, difficulty initiating connections, easily exhausted by socializing, avoiding emotional discussions, communication oversights, uncomfortable showing affection. I don't know, I feel like a lot of these are kind of like on the dot. Again, locked. Everything about your type unlocked for $9. Give us money. I think that's it. Logicians you may know. Oh no, I'm Bill Gates. Freaking the bugs, the ticks that are killing everybody. Oh, you can't see Bill Gates over here. Like, yeah, Bill Gates. That's as far as I can get it. There's Bill Gates over there. So we got Bill Gates. We got Einstein. Sure. Why won't it let me? Isaac Newton. Neo. How do you know that Neo from The Matrix is freaking whatever my letters are? Freaking the Hulk is in there. I don't know why. Like Bruce Banner. Why does it do that? I guess it's showing you a set of guys. Like these are fictional people. These are not real people. Prison Break. Like a lot of stuff I haven't seen. I guess I should just click this. Again, not a real person. I don't care about none of these people who are fake. I mean, I guess we got Bill Gates, Einstein, Newton, question mark. Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart? Like, Kristen Stewart. Freaking Belle from Twilight. Like, really? I couldn't have been freaking Edward. Since I feel like no one really cares about Kristen Stewart anymore, right? But everyone is still fine with, I can't think of his name, even though I should know his name more than I should know Kristen Stewart. You know who I'm talking about, though. The guy who played Edward in Twilight. I couldn't have even gotten Jacob. I had to get freaking Kristen Stewart. I know I just talk about like I don't care about these fictional people, and I'm talking about fictional people, but I couldn't even get Jacob since I was like Team Jacob, even though I didn't watch those movies growing up, question mark. I just said Team Jacob just to be a contrarian when I was growing up. Plus, I just kind of liked him better than Edward anyways, just the way he looked, at least, question mark. And I maybe could have looked like him a little bit when I was that age, question mark. But when I was a teenager and those movies came out, I feel like I looked more like him than I looked like Edward, obviously. I still had my caramel skin. And my hair can do some weird stuff, right? It can be straight and kind of like Native American-ish looking, question mark. I'm just saying that because allegedly I have some native in me, but I don't. Anyone who says that they have native in them, they're just lying, right? But that's just allegedly, that's a thing. So maybe that's why I can look like that sometimes. So I know I have long hair now, but my hair is like wavy and whatnot, curly. I mean, I had like a fake Jerry curl in high school. But with long hair like this, it's just really, really wavy and curly, I guess, but not like curly like you would expect someone to be who's like half black to be. Right? It's not that what's the word? Coarse. Probably because it's so long. But yeah, there you go for all the people, all you crazies out there. I mean, I'm like crazy one. All you crazies out there, that's what we got. We got a logician, INTPT, whatever that extra little T means. I guess thinking. So it's INTP thinking is what we have for that. So what do we have? Architect, logician, commander, debater, advocate, mediator, protagonist, campaigner, the protagonist. I feel like you're calling a protagonist. Isn't that a psychopath? So I guess I didn't quite get psychopath. I'm still gonna put like, did it say I'm a psychopath on the thumbnail? But because isn't a psychopath someone who believes they are the protagonist? Which maybe I do believe that. They believe that the protagonist and everyone else is just an NPC for them to play with, right? No one else is actually a real person. They're not real. Like humans aren't real. They're the only real thinking thing, and everyone else is just something to manipulate and play with. So if there is something called the protagonist, would that not therefore be the psycho MBTI, whatever this is called? I think someone was saying that when I looked up what is the average psychopath MBTI, and I think someone did say this, but there's no official thing saying this is what psychos are. Logistician? How do you even say it? It's logistics, but like logistician? I don't know. Oh my god, I can't say that. Defender, executive, consul, virtuoso, adventurer, entrepreneur, entertainer. So yeah, we're an analyst, and we're a logician, and we're thinking type, question mark. Kyuuties, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, think about becoming a member, subscribe, become subscribed, so we can watch time and subscribers, and don't forget we have a throne now as well. And shout out to the members, EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew, alexgkiller 880, and if I was a rat, Kyuuties. Thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, hype, and comment. Know what to do. See ya.